Disclaimer. This video, like all videos featured on this channel, is definitely intended for mature audiences. This video is likely to contain profane language. Content is inappropriate for minors. Video is not for kids.
Welcome to the Dr. Greenthumb Show. Lord of mercy.
In desperate need of much help, we are. How you doing? This is Dr. Greenthumb Show live on YouTube, Twitch, Discord, and the home site www.brealtvcontest.tv. Welcome to it. I am the doctor. With me, to the right, is the concentrate king, Cali Blaze.
What's up, you scumbags?
How you doing?
Good, man.
You good? All right, I hope so. I got my man, special guest Black Leaf in the house.
Yeah. Big smoke. Big smoke.
First smoke of the day representing up at here. Up at the treehouse, we got Bolton Blombo, Bra Bra, and the Dominator.
We doing good, B. We also got the icon up in here, Bobo.
Buddy.
I like how you didn't skip him this time.
Yeah, I like how you didn't skip him. You went right into him, all right?
Yeah, I was staring at him.
Pause.
I was staring at him like...
Looking good, Bobo. You're looking good. You're color coordinated with snacks and everything.
You know, sometimes we're getting along today.
You're getting along today. I see that. You got your Cypress Hill splash. He's got a black and white checkered hat, and you got your little Cypress black and white tie. It's like you guys are partners.
Yeah, today, you know, it's a good day.
Yes. One said by Ice Cube. Word up. And we got Pack Gods up in here. First smoke of the day.
Be Real TV. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. And we got the one and only E-Zone up in this building.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing? We're starting off.
Slowly
We're starting off.
getting over the loss yesterday.
Yeah. I know. Now you see, you know what I mean? We took 2 L's this week, but we won't go into it because I already know people don't want to hear sports as reported to me by E-Zone.
Hey, I was just saying they were giving it to you that day when you were talking
they
about
were.
the Lakers.
Of course
and
they were.
Some of it seemed very like, I'm like, yo, there's a hateful tone in this. Like, it's not even just like
because some folks,
camaraderie. Like
some folks hate the Lakers and they're celebrating the fact that we ain't getting another championship. All right, and it's fine. Hey,
They can go
I'm not boo-hooing. You know what I'm saying? The Denver Nuggets came and put it on them, and that's all I'll say. But I want to say thank you to you, brothers, for having me on First Smoke of the Day yesterday.
Hey, man, it was an honor. 100th episode. So, no other way.
We got to, we smoked. I was blazing one of Cali Blaze's hash holes in there to make it to that.
Those are perfect for on the go. Like if I'm gonna tailgate it, I used to just rush it and try to roll like 5-6 joints, and I'm like, oh, this will do it. And like now just 2 Cali hash holes. I'm like,
listen,
for the barbecue after I eat, and then one after an hour before we go in the game.
If you slow smoke that, you could rock that like a 2-hour smoke session, easy. Like
two?
so, like a podcast, you could rock a full one. Yeah, like if you slow smoke it, if you smoke it like we normally smoke, no, it'll be done in the first hour, maybe hour 15.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like that's the perfect. Like let me just cruise.
Yeah, I don't
enjoy.
I don't really like to chief those hash holes. I mean,
you're not supposed to.
You know, like to smoke them slow.
You will go to sleep if you try to chief it like that, Bobo.
I've done
know
that.
you.
I've done that where you fast smoke it, like not like where you're like, hey, I'm gonna try to run through it, but it was before I learned the tailgate, time, and I was like, oh man, we got like 10 minutes to finish this, and it's just me and my lady because none of the rest of the gang was sitting outside. So when we sat down after we like powered through the hash part of it, and we were coughing and just like keeping hitting it, cause we're not gonna waste it, bro. It's a number one. It's quality.
Yeah.
Number two, these things ain't cheap. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to finish it till I'm done. And as I'm done, when we finally sat down, you get to your seats. I just look at her and I'm just like, hey, are you that faded right now? Like, cause I'm like, we ran through that. You'll get obliterated.
Yeah, it'll do that to you.
Especially because you're doing the airport walk to your seats.
Hey, let me ask you guys this, because this has been a thing, and I don't know if it's like psychological or whatever, but I think everybody's experienced this in cannabis as of late, as it relates to smoking joints. I don't know about blunts, but because I don't smoke that many blunts anymore, just on occasion I might hit a couple, whatever, mostly hemp wrapped. But in terms of smoking joints, right? You stepped on something over there. There you go. In terms of joints, have you guys encountered like it tastes one way when it starts, and then when it gets halfway through the joint, it either tastes like it's infused with wax or just completely changes flavor? Because I've had that in a couple strains. I couldn't really call out the name of the strains because I wasn't really paying attention, but I noticed that in a lot of in a lot of the so-called exotic weed lane that I've been privileged to smoke in, right? There's been some weed that shifts in terms of what it tastes like when it starts and where it ends up in the middle.
It just
Have you guys had that?
Yeah, I call it the entourage effect. It's like as you're pulling the terpenes and they're getting caught in here, it starts to build.
Right.
The next thing you know, you're like, wow, this is tasting stronger. Or in bad weed cases, it tastes like nothing.
Like nothing, yeah.
The first couple hits taste good. That's more what's happening right now in the cannabis industry. It doesn't taste like much. But yeah, it's the entourage effect. When it's real good, it starts to taste even better. Or keep the flavor all the way through.
Yeah, I feel like it could go either way.
Right.
And it depends on how well you rolled it, too.
That too.
That's a big.
You roll it too tight, you're not getting that.
Yeah, or too loose. You know what I mean?
I think if you roll it too tight, it changes the flavor because so much pressure is, like the air has got so like little pockets to get through in it. Like
too loose.
Too loose burns too fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the biggest things. Like I'll literally,
Get your throat.
like if I know the tip is kind of loose, you know, and it's falling out, I'll just re-roll the whole thing. So like I'll shake it, bro. Like I'll to make sure that it's not gonna pop out because I don't.
And
some of this weed be expensive.
The other problem with too loose is that not only is it too fast, but when it burns fast, it burns hotter. So it's definitely changing the flavor. And the same thing when it's too tight.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get the flavor of the joint because it's like sometimes when one of our bros who will remain nameless rolls a joint too tight, is like trying to suck ice cream through a straw.
A ton.
There you go. I didn't say it.
I did.
He's not lying.
So that drastically changes the flavor. But when it's rolled right, and I think it's when it's rolled right, and there's a lot of terps and a lot of those like
Resin, lots of resin.
Yeah, a lot of resin starts building in that middle, and that could be why it changes. And sometimes it tastes like it's infused with
Because you're smoking
rocks.
hash.
Yeah,
If you look,
it's actually happening.
it is. You'll see the grease ring. That's all
Yeah.
resin. So you're tasting that resin
Yeah,
build up.
it doesn't happen in every joint you smoke, or with every batch of weed or whatever, every strain. It happens with some, and man, it's just a different thing. It starts you here, and then boom, it shifts. And I like that shit because it's like,
Absolutely.
Hey,
yeah, I heard it.
how long have you guys been going on as a podcast? Like the first smoke of the day.
We just hit 2 years.
In June. 2 years.
Congratulations.
Right, man.
Thank you.
We were really excited for episode 100, and when we were starting to come up, I mean, we're in episode 70, and we're like, man, we got to get Be Real for 100.
Yeah.
Like that's just no option. Like we have to work on that.
It's a landmark for like, or is it like a special moment for your timeline?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a milestone.
Yeah, milestone.
100 episodes. And shout out to Blaze and Kenji for making that shit happen. We're leaning on them heavy.
Now,
Sure.
how did you guys come up with the actual name First Smoke? Because when I think First Smoke, it's a very important smoke. It's right before breakfast.
Yes, it's the vibe.
And
Best smoke of the day, and you have the best conversations with your first smoke of the day. So that's the whole concept. You're sitting with a group of homies or friends or whatever, talking ideas or anything like that. Your first smoke of the day is going to get you, going, going with the best combos as long as it's good weed.
It sets
Gotta be
off
good weed.
it sets off the vibe, your first smoke. Like, and depending on like the kind of information you got that day, right? Did it piss you off? Did it, you know what I mean? And like you're either coping and trying to process and problem solve, or if you didn't get none of that, you're just like soaking in the vibe. And yeah, man, it is important. It's the most important.
Let me ask you this: is the first smoke? Would that be first smoke of the day? Would that be like when it's nighttime still? It hasn't, sunrise hasn't happened yet, or the sun is up already, or it's just when you wake up? When is the first
Your first,
optimum smoke of the day?
I think it's when you wake up. Whenever your smoke is, that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
You need to sleep before it's your first smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No?
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You just can't like be on a bender and then just like
Can't
hey,
be
first
ten
smoke.
o'clock.
But let me ask you this, because you guys asked me this yesterday. What was your first smoke ever?
Oh man, I have a crazy. Okay, so I'm in college. My first year in college, I actually waited to smoke weed a long
Really?
time. Yeah.
Late bloomer.
Yeah,
was a
100%.
good
All right.
What a gentleman.
Yeah. I dived in quick though. Within a month, I was growing weed already after I smoked it.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm in the back
Converted.
of a car and we're on the way to a concert. And I was in a fraternity at the time in college, and they were like it was a blunt, passing the blunt around. And when I took it from the right from the girl, I passed it to the, and I had one of my big brothers lean back. He's like, hit that shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I hit it a couple times, and I was like, he reminds me of this. He's like, man, you were like, this is interesting. This isn't what I thought it was. He's like, the whole night you were talking about, wow, this is different than what I expected. I've been lied to.
The perception was totally changed.
I had a blast. I had a blast. And then from then on, I haven't stopped smoking. Except for
Cheers
on
to
probation.
that. Give that a round, man. Come on.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Pac?
8th grade graduation. My boy in school, he's like, "Yo, we're throwing a party tonight." He had the cool mom, so she would let him and his brothers do anything. So we all went over there, and he's like, "I'm gonna roll you your own joint," and he's like, "They call it creeper bud because it'll creep up on you." And so we sat back there and smoked it.
In 8th grade?
8th grade graduation, yeah, going into the 9th grade.
Right on.
Yeah, I feel like you had Cali Blaze type of friends, bro.
I was 6th grade though.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you rolled
I think B said 5th grade.
Yeah, I was in the 5th grade. I was hanging around.
Early bloomer.
Yes,
I
I
was
was with the
thinking high
wrong crowd totally. But they were the right crowd.
Yeah,
No, I mean, we perceived as the wrong crowd.
yeah.
You
I
know
can
what I mean?
relate.
Yeah.
Do you vividly remember that first time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to go, okay, at the time, I was going to a school called Macy in Monterey Park, right? And funny enough, the colors of the school are green and yellow, which are the colors of my life, straight up, even here, right? Anyway, I lived not far from there, and the dude that we used to go to his crib after school, he lived like maybe 5 minutes from my crib. So we, 3 of us or 4 of us would, after school, go to his crib, and we'd be hanging out with him. He was slightly older than all of us. And we'd be sitting there listening to metal or oldies, and he would break out the green acrylic bong. Like I told you guys, it was a little small one from, maybe it was Graphics or whatever company that was making the acrylic bongs at that time. I don't know if it was Graphics. It probably was, because I think they were the oldest at the point, right? Mm-hmm. And we would get high on that, and definitely was in the 5th grade at this point. I was really fast. So
Were you everyday frequent since then?
No. Just whenever we'd go to his crib. We didn't go to his crib every day, but when we would go there. And then when I moved out of that area, then I disconnected from smoking for a long time until I got up into Southgate and met Sen Dog and his brother and them. They definitely smoked weed. And, it was basically, I went from hitting bongs in the 5th grade to now hitting joints with Sen Dog. And
They were smoking joints or blunts?
no, they were smoking joints. We didn't start smoking blunts till after we met Muggs. He took us to the East Coast. They were smoking blunts over there. We just brought the shit back down here. Damn, that's 2.
Hey, B-Roll, you gotta get a cup, dude.
I got a cup of something. I was ready just in case I
Did you
violated.
pour some, Rick?
You know what? I'll give me another cup. I'll try what you got because that's better. But anyway, where was I?
Eitan, bring him a cup.
Oh, where was I?
You went to the East Coast.
I went to the East Coast, and we started seeing the blunts. So then we started smoking blunts down here in Cali, and then that sort of seeped into the songs.
Now,
did
you really like the blunt when you first had it? I mean, honestly, or did you?
I didn't really pay attention whether I liked it or not. I just sort of did it.
I didn't mind it. You were just smoking. I didn't care. We smoked blunts for years.
I think we were smoking some mid-level weed at that point, so we didn't really notice that the blunt was like making it boofed out.
Yeah, because it wasn't even mids. That was boof, bro. Back in the 90s, the early 90s, it was straight brick weed.
See, that's the trip. That's the trip that you guys say that, because my introduction to blunts and when I started smoking, I was kind of like you. But it was like in like my later year of high school where I started like dabbling in it. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? This is cool. Let's go get high. And I remember like the blunts, it was just like I guess in addition to really good weed. Cause I already had my med card at 17, bro. Like I was already like being the homie that was like, nah, I'm serious, bro. I can go into the store and let's get some money together and get some weed. So I just remember the blunts just kind of enhanced it, and it was more of like a lightheadedness.
You know what it is that in your time when you came into yours in terms of smoking weed had gotten better.
Way better.
All day.
You know what I mean? Like there was better weed available to you guys than it was to us in our time. Where you had to know someone, that either had some really good haze or some good skunk or some indica, because there wasn't like the flavor boomlet that there is right now. So
that's for two.
You were lucky, but like, yeah, for me, I gave up the blunts just because a health thing and a performance thing. It wasn't that I didn't like it. When I went back to joints and started smoking joints, and I tried a blunt for the first time after like maybe a year of smoking joints, I was like, oh hell no.
I do think but yeah, like this is just in my opinion. It's not to offend any companies out there. But I don't think there's like an in-between. It's either you're smoking a blunt or you're not. Like this whole banana leaf-ish and this whole hemp wraps. Like, yo, if you're not going to let us smoke blunts in the dispensary, don't give me this hemp wrap-ish because it doesn't taste the same, bro.
Yeah, but
it just don't hit. Like, I like the alternative. It's cool and option, but I'm saying, like, I just feel there's no in-between for, like, there's tobacco and fake tobacco.
But there's a reason. And it ain't necessarily that it's tobacco, right? It's the fact that, look, the blunt culture, they like it because it burns slow, right? Whatever they roll into it, whether it's a little bit of weed or a lot of weed, it burns slow as hell, right? And the other thing is they're, probably addicted to the tobacco because they've been smoking it so long, they don't realize that they're addicted to that. You know what I mean? And to them, they don't even think that it obscures the flavor of the weed. They're just smoking it. Where I was smoking that like on a constant for a few years, and I noticed what it did to my lungs. I noticed what it did to my throat. I noticed how it changed the flavor of like some good weed when we started having money to actually buy good weed, and we stopped buying mids or boof and things like that. It obscured it, the flavor of the weed. And so when I gave it up, I noticed how different it was by smoking with the papers. And like, everybody always makes a thing about the gum and all that, but think that like you're you're worried about that, yet you're smoking the tobacco that's known to actually, do things to your lungs and do things to your body, to your throat. Even, from lung cancer to throat cancer, tobacco does that.
Yeah. I smoked blunts for 10 years, but until I moved to Cali, actually even longer, a lot longer. But yeah, blunts, back then, there wasn't even strains. Everybody just called it skunk, chocolate. That was like, that's it. Skunk, chocolate tie, Maui Wowie, Northern Lights came.
Yeah, there were only a few
later.
names.
And Haze.
Like three. And Haze, but that was even mid-90s. 91, 92, 93.
The Haze, in the United States, maybe it was new, but Haze has been in Europe for
Europe, I'm sure. But in New York, the Haze was like mid-90s.
Yeah,
not early.
You guys got to smoke that.
You guys had BC a lot.
We were happy when we got BC. Are you kidding me? That was the first actual bud.
We got crappy.
Like a bud.
We got crappy BC down here. It was
Well, ours in hindsight was crap as well, but compared to the brick weed, the Colombian and Jamaican brick.
Oh, it was way better than that.
Oh,
yeah.
it was like, oh my God, a bud. And you get back then, they were selling these little plastic containers. They look like squares, right?
In Harlem, they would. I think it was
125th,
125th, or in the 120 somewhere. They had brownstones that were like gutted. And they would slang Afghani, little small bags of Afghani out of those brownstones, and they were all gutted. Like, so if they got raided, they would just go underneath the building, go into the next one, go out and
just so you know, those same brownstones, $2 million right now.
Right now, yeah.
Well, oh my God, Harlem is popping. Like real estate in Harlem.
It got gentrified, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Like put it this way, the Clintons had a lot to do with that. When Bill Clinton retired, when he finished being a president, he opened his office on 125th Street. So that was the beginning of the gentrification.
That's your East Los Angeles?
What's that?
In New York?
What?
Harlem?
East LA? Harlem?
No, I'm saying because that's like the hot spot for gentrification right now. Like they're like doing Dodger Stadium all over again, except for restaurants and like cookie places and shit like that.
Well, there's a lot of history in Harlem, so they want to,
yeah, that's what I'm
make
saying.
it appealing
Brooklyn
to everyone to come see it.
There's a lot of history in East LA, so I'm just saying that's like East Los out there,
right?
Yeah, so I'm like, that's messed up. Is it just kicking these people out and just like, hey?
No, they're doing that a lot, like in Highland Park.
Yeah,
that like Figueroa in Highland Park is all gentrified. I mean, everything. I mean, you can just walk up and down there. It's like no problem now.
I would imagine the Bronx is changing.
They're trying. That's the last one. Like, no, that's the last one that's going to be gentrified.
Because when you think about what that looked like in the 70s and 80s, man, it looked like a
war zone. A war zone.
Yeah.
Literally.
Are you guys both from LA?
Nah, we're both from Florida originally.
Yeah. Damn, Gator land.
Yeah,
You're from Florida, huh?
The
See, that helps. Like I always love this guy's look. Like he's got this.
Like he knows how to gut a fish.
No, I was just gonna tell you. He don't have his hat off. When he's got his hat, he's got like this groomed. Is it a mullet? It is.
It's
right?
like a modern mullet.
A modern mullet. So it looks like he's playing golf in the day and wrestling alligators.
Dude, if he
now it makes sense.
If he puts on a camouflage hat, it's what time it is, bro.
Yeah.
Like
airboating during the day, and backyard wrestling at night.
Mullets are never gonna die, bro.
Yeah.
Mullets
live on.
They live on.
Not with Danny McBride not letting it die, bro. He's like he's the man with the mullet, bro.
I love.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna it lives on. It's never gonna die. It's always gonna exist.
It's like
glorious.
I have yet to see an iconic Kenny Powers mullet though. I want to see one of those.
Oh man, you didn't see Patrick Swayze mullets, bro.
Oh, that was a fountain.
No, I meant like personally seen it where I'm like,
I see.
Yo, like that's a fucking Kenny Powers fucking mullet, bro.
Hey man,
got him.
They got you.
Yeah. Well, you got 3 minutes.
So like in Germany, you could go do a show and see some dudes with some mullets carrying the mullet game on.
No, it's guaranteed. Like every time we've toured Europe, there's been at least a few people that we've seen.
Could be in Ireland, could be in Scotland.
OG mullets.
You know who doesn't get credit in the mullet community?
Who?
The paisas that rock mullets, bro. Because in the 90s, bro, a lot of fools that or people that are my age that have tios and like mostly tios. There was a lot of tios rocking those mullets, bro. And
there was a lot of mullets.
There was those tios with the jackets and the strings coming out of it. This like, that was like a popular look in the Mexican community, bro.
They wanted to do the Lou Diamond Phillips look, dog.
You can see some of these mullets at like it's some popping taco stands at like 12 o'clock or 1 a.m.
Go to the callejones.
It's certain parts, bro. Like where they sell the botas, you'll see a couple of those come in there and be like, they're coming to get it by their fits.
That's a serious dude right there.
I was this close to rocking the mullet.
Oh, I would have loved.
Not really.
Damn, that would have been something else.
I got a Jerry curl instead.
That's good.
That's iconic. You know what blunt culture brought us though? I got 5 on it.
Yes, it did.
You don't hear anybody talking about joints like that, right? It's like, oh, let me throw 5 on a joint. That was always blunt.
That's what that was. I thought it just meant 5 on a sack, like
5 on a sack, but that thing's getting rolled in a blunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay,
that's true. Because when blunts came down here, or when blunts got like projected out, like this is the way we in hip hop smoke weed, right? That it like infiltrated everywhere, man. Kids, not kids, but people that smoked weed, they started flipping into, and kids too.
Definitely.
Because I was a kid when I started, so let's just be 1,000. a lot of them flip from smoking in, pipes or bongs or joints to like, oh, let me try this blunt thing.
Philly blunt.
And like, it's hard peeling a blunt out of their hand now. Some of them have converted over into joint smoking, which is much better for you. But like, yeah, man, it's hard pressed to like change a blunt smoker over to a weed smoker until they come to the realization themselves.
I think too many people are scared to try the current modern ways of getting high, bro. Like, there's some people that I talk to that are, could be considered my peers around the same age. And I'm just like, oh, you don't dab it or you don't do it like this. And they're just like, no, I had one bad experience. It's like, you guys got to give this shit a second chance, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to give this shit a second. Nah, it's 2:30.
No, he's good. He's good.
15 seconds.
Well, let me tell
wrong.
you.
No,
It's
the TV.
2:29, bro.
Look at the TV. He still has 8 seconds, 9 seconds.
The TV's off too.
2:29.
I'm telling
You guys are fucking.
I'm going. Listen, I'm going by Cupertino time.
It's okay. I fucking paid already, bro.
All right. So to give y'all the heads up, we have a 30-minute challenge where we don't curse, and if we do, we got to either take 5 flips per curse from the Stundy, or we take shots.
5 flips. Woo.
Yeah, we're hard on each other. Pause.
Oh yeah, but back to now that I remember the very good point I was saying, I say people gotta stop being scared of that shit and give it another chance, bro. Like, you hit a modern device like a DabX or a Dr. Dabber or whatever it might be. Like, they have accommodations for you, bro. Like, give dabs another chance. Like, stop just rolling up blunts, bro. Like, there's so many ways, and it might save you some money. Like, if you're smoking 8 blunts a day. Maybe get a gram of hash rosin, get one of these devices, and just start taking a dab, because that shit's gonna rock your world. The first couple, the first year, you're gonna be like, damn. And if you're one of those regular smokers that doesn't take it up a notch like we do, where we're like, we gotta have like, I need a QP every fucking week. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like if you're not one of those, it's gonna last you a while and you're gonna get to enjoy it. Like, my boy who came to hang around, I'm like, he's a glass bro, and I just automatically think, shout out to you, Sherbert Glass. Like, I just automatically think that these fools, because they're constantly making the shit we smoke out of, I just think all of them are down like we do. Hey, bro, you want to smoke back to back? You want to take a dab? You want to do all this? And they don't, bro. Like, they
well, no, because probably they had a bad experience. It's all about the first experience, right? So if someone that led you to dabbing, right? Like, hey, you should try this, and they didn't give you what you should have actually gotten your first time to have an enjoyable experience, and they just was like giving you what you might already have tolerance because you do it, right?
A lot.
And you give them what you would give yourself. You're devastating that person, and they don't ever want another dab in their life again. And this is what happens to a lot of rappers, because they're not ready for that. And people think because they smoke all these joints, smoke all these blunts, or hit these bongs, that's going to be the same, and it's not.
They gotta give it a chance, though, bro. Like,
no. They got to give it another chance, but they got to do it so that it's not going to devastate them and be like, oh, hell no, I'll never do it again. That was awful, right? And I know because you guys do first smoke of the day, people come at you and give you products, and they want to do dabs with you and all this other stuff. But by now, you guys have tolerance. I know this. But when you did your first dab, did someone treat you right and give you like the proper dose, or did they take your head off, or did they try to take your head off?
Fuck no, I think we were all taking hot dabs for years.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah,
with the little
same
bell
here.
on top.
Every time I would do it, I'd go to the bathroom after and look at myself and be like, why do I keep doing this shit? Like, man, like, what's this guy would be like, if it stopped being red, they'd be like, heat it back up.
Exactly. It had to be glowing.
You remember?
No one knew better. No one knew better. None of us did. I got blown out my first
But nobody nobody cared to like think, like, yo, why does it flare up when we do it, and we still hitting it? Like, yo, was very stupid. It was
catching fire.
It was unpurged at times, bro. Like, those free dabs.
You know what, though? I want to go back to that, because people used to always say that. Any oil, you put rosin on a glowing dab, it lights up. So people used to be like, oh, it's not purged. No, it's too hot.
I thought that was the reason.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well,
Yeah,
sometimes
no, it's too hot.
But it's
Yeah.
too hot. Like, literally, you could take rosin with no solvent. You go at a piece of glass that's glowing, it's going to go on fire the second you touch it. It's oil. It's going to go on fire no matter
The
what.
poop soup.
And none of us
poop soup.
and none of us knew.
Back then, it was poop
No.
soup. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
None of us
Definitely.
knew to let it cool down, man. And we devastated ourselves. I know, man.
We
I
thought-
did it too.
People would think that it was whack if you got a low temp hit. Like
Yeah.
they'd be like, "You wasted it," and
wasn't
I'm like,
hot
"Bro, like that shit tasted good, bro. Like you're tripping. This tangy."
I don't. You know, they didn't realize how much of the terp flavors they were missing out on because they were taking it so hot.
You're burning them, but you were getting so high. Like, let's be clear on this. Like,
You were getting very high.
You would live
20 minutes, you're coughing.
You want impact?
You're like-
when you stopped coughing, you'd look in the mirror.
Oh,
Your eyes are tearing. You're drooling usually at this point, and you're just like, holy shit.
You know what I
all
find
over.
crazy is that people now have this information, but they still will do hot dabs.
They're trying to get high.
They
I
wanna
don't
get
blame
high
them.
fast.
This guy still
No,
wants a hot
no.
dab. At the end of the day,
When he says hot dab, he means like I
On
like
red.
not
I-
off that, I'm talking old.
Nah,
he likes a
nah.
good old school hot dab. This
It's
guy.
okay
Not
if you do,
red,
bro.
no.
Not red. Not red.
I'll
But
be smoking with certain heady guys, right? This is a and they'll go in so low that as you're like blowing out, there's like vape, like a little bit. You're like, and they're like, gotta waste it to taste it, you know?
That's
and
good
after
for the
about
first
10
hit.
of those, I'm like, could I get one good dab? Like,
Yeah,
I actually
exactly.
like to smoke, you know?
Yeah.
I want to cough, not just. I know what you mean, dude.
There's definitely people who, like, you do know, like, of course, like, you're still getting high when it's vaporizing.
Yeah.
I want smoke too. So I'm definitely hitting it at least 500. Like, the heady guys are 4.25, 450.
Yeah.
That's not enough because I put globs. So it cools down. Like, if I put a glob on a 450, you're barely going to see anything.
What's too much? What's too much? Like now with measurement.
A hot
tools.
dab to me is like 620.
Yep.
Like 6 to 620 is a hot dab. Get me high, get me where I need to be. A good dab for me, 520, 550. That's
Exactly.
My, that's
Now
my
that's not
numbers.
on the e-nail though,
No,
right?
that's on
No.
glass.
That's
Cold
like
glass.
with the measuring
Quartz.
tool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
you-
quartz, I got double measurements going the sidewall and the underneath of the bunk.
You know what the best way to break people into hash, like you were saying? Hash holes.
Yeah,
Oh,
If
hash
they've been
holes.
smoking flower.
Perfect.
Here's a little something, try this, and then it's
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I've done that where I've given somebody a hash roll that I rolled. I was like, here, bro, try that later. And then I've seen them smoke it. And the moment the hash starts going, they're like, oh, this is too much. And they put it out and they save it for later. And I'll get like a message like, look, I'm finishing it. I was like, bro, I would never disrespect that hash roll like that.
Word.
Yeah, bro. Like,
What do you guys feel about relighting joints?
Well, it
I'm
depends why
against
they
it.
went out.
I'm against it. Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like if it's been out for more than 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah.
the whole experience changes.
Yeah, it's
Just
weird.
roll off into another one.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like relighting them.
it's going to
Don't
taste like
prefer it.
ashtray after
I like
10 minutes.
finishing it. I'll just like,
Mine definitely
No.
goes out.
I think so. Yeah. Well, but you relight it fast.
Yeah.
I do right away.
It-
Oh, you
that's
mean like
different.
putting it in an ashtray and
Yeah.
circle
5
later?
minutes, 10 minutes, then
No.
coming back to it.
Like
I'm
if I
just-
pick this up and I was
tastes
like,
like
let me finish
smoke
it.
then so much.
Yes.
It takes.
It smells like
I don't know.
burn, like ash. No, I don't do it. Like I'll relight it now, but I won't put it in the ashtray and smoke it later, unless I happen to be out of weed. Then of course I'm smoking.
course.
I'm not throwing it out, but I ain't trying to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Waste not, want not. But yeah, when you disengage from it for a time, yeah, you tend to roll a fresh one.
Yep.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It tastes like it's out of the ashtray.
Yeah.
You know, like
And it is.
It's already
It
been
is,
smoked
yeah.
on. You know.
And it is.
What's everyone smoking on right now?
I think it's Black Runts. Is that what he?
I don't know. What you have is different. I got I got a special delivery, and I got this this OG grown by Kenji, which is the Triple X, and then on the other one I rolled the RS11, which I don't know what that is in the fancy bags, but
Oh yeah.
it's one of those strains.
Yeah. The RS11 is.
And then this stuff called Cheerios, which they're all grown by Kenji, which was great, and and it felt good to just roll that up. And I was
Awesome.
so shout out to
Yeah. shout
Green
out to
Thumb
Big
Farms.
Dog.
Yeah. Huge shout out, Kenji.
You said you're probably smoking the ripped off runs.
No, I'm smoking the Black Runts.
Oh.
Insane Black Runts.
That's a great strain.
Fire.
It's the candy. Straight candy.
And I didn't call it ripped off, but that's just what the phenom's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just they're gonna be like,
No,
"What a
that's,
hater."
no, that's what the phenom's called. Apparently.
It's a good name because everybody else be ripping off runs and calling it a different name.
Hey,
Like
every-
50 different names for the same strain.
Every
They
fucking
did
black
that with
cherry
Gorilla
bottle.
Glue.
Yeah.
When
But-
there was
Oh,
too
they
much of
still
it and they
do.
couldn't sell it, they're like, okay, everybody just renamed it something different.
There's like a bunch
Purple
of
punch.
a bunch of bags for the same lemon cherry gelato.
Absolutely.
Like literally, like there's like a billion fucking bags for this lemon cherry gelato, and I'm just like, bro, there's only so many Runts bags you can make. There's only so many this and that. I'm like, come on, make some other plants fuck, y'all. Like, what's going on? Like, there's a lot of plants they want to fuck too. Like, can we make some new strains? Like, I'm just saying, man. Like, so when you see like the over-whoreness of a plant,
The
Like,
over-whoreness.
I don't know if that's articulated correct, but I get what you're saying.
like, you know what I mean? I know it's probably not.
Damn, son, what did you do to my son?
It's more like, damn, acid is starting to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, I don't like it when they whore out one strain and everybody has it, and they just like,
when they overproduce a strain.
and it's the same shit that they have. Somebody got a clone and they're calling it something different because they have an agreement. I'm like, no, bro. Like, I remember when where there was a Kush cup or a cannabis cup before, and if there was 50 weed vendors, they were all coming from different states, and every single one of these weed vendors had something different, and I like that variety.
But on the same flip though, I remember that one cannabis cup here, everyone were growing DNA genetics. So their genetics was competing against each other. It was just different cultivators of a lot of DNA genetics.
That's an error right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, what was the high times and stuff like over in Amsterdam?
It's different than ours over here. I think ours were a little bit more lit.
Yeah,
Theirs were cool though, because it was a different experience. Ours hadn't existed yet.
exactly.
So it was like it opened our eyes to what was possible, right? And the minute that, cannabis sort of style events or events with cannabis attached to it started being acceptable, like when we did our Cypress Hill Smokeout, like that was unique. Now you see like people doing that format left and right. But we sort of did that. We had a cannabis expo within, a music festival. It was called the Smokeout, but it was music first and cannabis was the bonus, right? And so when they see us pull that off, they thought, maybe we could bring the cup to California. And it became a different experience because it was a little bit more open than what was happening in Amsterdam's cups. You saw a lot of cool stuff there, but California's were definitely better. As of now, not, things have shifted and changed, but those first, I'm going to say 2 or 3 High Times Cannabis cups that came through California, right, were pretty dope.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Do you see they just banned smoking in the red light district?
Yeah.
The main part of Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's in a piece of it. You know what I mean? Like they don't want no smoke there. They're trying to gentrify down there too. Make some housing available for folks with money. And so, I don't think they'll ever eradicate the smoke completely, but it's just in that section. I think you can still go to some cafes and like blaze up there, just not in that particular section. Because that's a part of their tourism dollar, man. Or their economics is a lot based on tourism, and you got a lot of people going down there for several different experiences. One of them, which is the smoking. People come there to maybe do that for the first time, or a tradition they might have when they're on their vacation or holiday, as they call it in Europe. They don't call it a vacation. They call it a holiday.
Stupid university. University and holiday. That's college to them.
College,
I went to
yeah.
university.
I went to the university.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
That's college.
Limey
That's
bastards.
college for them.
Yeah.
B, have you had a favorite 420? One that just
Yeah, it was in Vancouver. And then we got booked to do a show there. And I didn't know there was going to be like 100,000 people there representing on 420. Because that was like, at that point, there was no bigger crowd for a 420 style festival or concert, yet. And Vancouver did that. Here's an image from it.
Oh shit!
wow.
That's ridiculous.
And,
it was massive, man.
It was massive.
What year is this?
What year was that, Bobo?
Man, that was like about 2017, 2018.
Oh, wow.
It was
Recent.
That's
pre-pandemic.
new.
Recent.
Sure.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that's the biggest one we played on 420. So I'm going to say that.
They-
But I'll tell you what, the earliest 420 shows we were doing them before a lot of people started picking up on it. We were doing them in the Bay, at the Fillmore, sometimes the Warfield, but mostly at the Fillmore. We'd be shroomed up doing those shows. Yeah, but yeah, those experiences were cool because people came out that were in the know for the 420 festival for the 420 shows in the Bay, and those were relatively small in comparison to what is happening now. But that was the seed planted back then. We were doing them, then eventually they grew out, and we started playing 420 shows in different places. Then fast forward to that time, that was the biggest one. There was no other, no bigger gathering for a 420 than that one yet.
Was that just like a huge block party? Just took over the streets?
No, that was a festival they threw in
wow.
Vancouver
Holy
for
shit.
420. They had the vendors, everything like you would see at a High Times Cannabis Cup. But they also based it on music. So, it was a celebration of 420 because it's federally legal there. So they get to do it slightly different, and it was, to this date, I think the biggest 420 show we've done.
You think we're gonna have lounges in LA at some point soon?
Yeah, I believe the lounges are coming.
We getting the Greenthumb Lounge?
Oh, we're going to try to get that
Come
off.
on,
Yeah.
man. Come on,
We're
man.
going to definitely push that.
What in Vancouver, did they have some fire up there?
Yeah, all through Canada they got some fire strains. You just got to be directed to them. But there's more available now than there ever used to be. That's for sure. But that's like anywhere else, like
Yeah.
before it was, to go in different places, you had to know someone to find the fire. And in some places that's still the case, but there's more fire out there available than there ever was. And it's easier to find now than it was like 5-10 years ago.
What do you think is the holdup with the lounges out here, like the weed lounges?
Man,
what's the
The
big
business,
holdup?
probably the business structure of it.
I
and
think-
the licensing and all that crap.
How do they take the most money from us?
Yeah.
No, I just think it's
Literally.
controlling it. Like,
Yeah, that's it. Control.
no, I think controlling like I guess the free consumerism in a sense that who's to say what's to stop somebody saying, hey, I'm gonna go for a bar and then I'm gonna go to the lounge and then now I'm faded times two. You know what I mean? Like
Well, that's part of it. But the other way is like, how is this lounge getting its cannabis? Are you going to sell cannabis within the lounge? Or are you going to outsource it? Where are you going to outsource it from? And
also we could tax.
transportation, tax, all this. It's all those little things that it has to be considered. And where are these lounges zoned? Are they zoned near schools?
Anywhere a bar can be.
you might as well put it.
Yeah,
you know,
but I'm
anywhere
just
a
saying
bar can
these
be.
are some of the things that
They
you know.
should follow like alcohol guidelines.
You could put them
Like
next
that.
to dispensaries, bro. It would just be hand in hand if you just had a building next to them, and then it's like, hey, if you want to
That'd be
just,
great.
Yeah.
if you want to just enjoy your shit that you just bought here, why not just go to
They're
our?
making sure that they're not near
Cathedral City.
They're making sure that they're not near schools or in churches.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
the churches don't want that nowhere near them.
but the dispensaries aren't they already in special zoning areas where they could just be like?
Yeah, look
so
at
it would just
Cathedral City.
it would
Dr.
be
Greenthumb.
hand in
There's a-
hand.
Yeah, that's what would make sense, but like it doesn't. What makes sense to you doesn't make money for them.
Boom.
That is very true.
Man,
So they
remember when
gonna-
it was
so
be
they
like
gonna make you jump through some different hoops to make that happen.
You know a lot about the business space of cannabis, like with having your name on buildings, with talking about this, the bombs you drop. Like you've had to learn the hard way.
Oh yeah, all of us have. Anybody in this, really, it's not as easy as they that people would perceive it to be. Much like the recording industry, a lot of people think when you get a record deal and they might hear your record somewhere on the radio if you're lucky and think, oh man, living the dream. He's rich, famous. He's got everything, and it's not like that in the beginning. You have to work to get to that, and hopefully you get success to be able to get any of that. And, just like people thought coming into the cannabis industry that it was going to be quick money and I'm going to make a whole lot of money because cannabis makes money. It takes a lot of money to make money in cannabis right now, especially with the regulations and the fines that happen and the taxation and what it costs to operate a business in this.
a lot of factors.
A lot of factors, and people don't realize it till they get there. And some people waste their money that they were saving to invest in something that they thought was going to bring them back, and a wash. And if you're not really in it for the long run, you could get flushed out. And if you're in it for the long one, you better have a good game plan to keep you afloat while the wave happens. So, it's tough, but a lot of us are passionate about it. It's a dream for people within it, and yeah, it could be a great industry. They just got to, lift the heavy hand off of us and allow us to, make money like they make money off of our industry. Because, we were talking about it the other day. Or, California's got a great reserve of money right now in the tank. We got a budget because of cannabis. So, and that's because they tax the hell out of us, along with that cannabis sells, right? As expensive as it is in some cases, and, obviously to the affordable, it sells. You could really never grow enough. Even though sometimes you can overproduce, you could still never grow enough.
It's going to go bad.
Right.
You get a season or two in, at some point that's turning yellow and it ain't smokable.
Yeah.
Gross.
They got to go easy on us. Allow us to make money so that they could make more money and we all make money. But no, just try to squeeze us out because they'd rather have someone else running the industry than who runs it now. It is what it is. But, we're dealing with it. We all got to just, keep doing what we're doing, amplify our brands, and keep pushing.
Guys hear about Fetty Wap catching 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a 6 piece.
6 years.
I saw that fool in Mexico one time on vacation.
Oh, yeah?
That fool was just
How
walking.
did you know he saw you?
No, I know it was him because it was
Well,
like
he's got like one eye shooting this way.
That's real cold, man.
That's
is real
not
cool.
fair.
It is, but it's a fact. Doesn't have to be fair. I didn't bust his eye out.
Yeah,
It's not my
yeah.
fault.
He was trapping.
See, what you looking at?
Remember
Yeah,
Trap
look,
Queen?
there you go.
Remember that song Trap Queen? It was a hit for a while.
Yeah.
Him.
Try to take that money and roll it up.
What ended up happening?
I guess they
Did he catch
He got to get charged with.
something about drug trafficking
Yeah,
from the West Coast.
Wasn't like heroin though.
No, he was trapping. I think he got close to getting a RICO
It's
charge.
from West Coast to Long Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Is
almost
this
like
during
a
the
line.
pandemic?
It's almost a line in the song.
Yeah, right.
From trapping from the West Coast to Long Island.
Conspiracy to distribute cocaine.
Yeah.
He's trying to get his blow on.
And right now, with all that fentanyl type of, all that stuff going on with the cocaine, they're probably just looking to throw the book at him.
And that's
make him an
federal
example.
prison, huh? Federal time.
Yeah,
90%, bro.
90%.
Conspiracy's a weird one though.
The worst.
They could have had him just being like, I'll hit you back a little bit. Let me talk to my buddy.
Yeah.
Boom,
Fact.
gotcha.
Boom. Got him.
That's enough to get you?
Fact. Yeah, if you're just showing any sort of involvement or knowledge of it, they can pop you with.
Because if they would have got you with it, they would have charged you with other charges. He just got conspiracy, unless they dropped other charges. But yeah, I mean, just you being like, I'm busy right now. Let me hit my buddy. I'll hit you back. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's
Says
it.
the charge carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years.
That's the problem with our government and our system.
It's only 5 for him. It ain't
mandatory.
like
But
it's
that's
it's not
5
like-
years, bro.
It is, but it's not 10 to 15 or
No.
20.
If he was
It's
trapping
doable.
if he was trapping though, he got to keep his money though. It's just be like, I just do this quick 5. We been sold bundles. I got this shit stashed away. I could just come back Gucci Man and fuck the rap
And
game.
you
I
make
ain't gotta-
it
If
sound
you're-
easy,
if
but
you're-
it ain't.
But if he was trapping like that though, bro, and he just got caught up like this, I'm just saying.
He's not Escobar, dog.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm just saying?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
Yeah, he wrote that song. I'm like, yo, he could have been really trapping, bro.
he probably was. I
Like-
mean, he's doing 6 years.
Word.
Word up.
He was
Hey,
trapping.
rest in peace to Tina Turner.
She was still alive.
Yeah, she was.
Was.
E-Zone.
I did
Till
it.
just now,
Yeah.
she died.
Damn.
R.I.P.
All right.
Man, no, that's true icon.
Icon?
Stop it, dude. What's
Come
wrong
on,
with
man.
you?
You guys are
What's
Tina
wrong
Turner.
with you?
I can't throw out an
There's
Ike
something-
joke. Come on.
Nah, man.
It's
That's
that shine.
inappropriate.
It's that shine.
That's inappropriate.
No, it's not.
Yes,
They
it
go
is.
hand in hand.
No,
literally.
they do not.
Oh, it's what, hands of faith?
Come on, how you gonna disrespect the dead, man?
Bro, I do it all day. I don't know how to tell you. I'm just disrespectful and terrible. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help it. Curse.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Be an E-zone kicking it back and forth. Yeah.
No, hey man, we passed the
I
baton.
told you, dude. You
Your
got
turn.
you could be disrespectful upstairs, dude.
Yeah.
True that.
Settle down.
Yeah. Settle
Don't
down.
you settle me down, Tom. Dom. Hey,
Settle
Tom.
down.
Is it Tom?
Yeah,
Dom. Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Tom.
Hey, Tom. Whatever the fuck your name is.
The combination
Oh,
of
man.
Aton and Dominic.
Hey, let me ask you guys this: do you guys get down with RSO or full spectrum oil at all?
Me personally, no, but we know people that's greatly helped and stuff. We
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
believe in it.
I think that's closer to true medicine than obviously when you smoke it and you consume cannabis. It's I would say for a lot of people it's more medicine for your mind or medicine for your internal, your
Yeah.
body, your heart, whatever
Like
it is.
cancer type stuff, huh?
But RSO takes it to a new level. There's like with Rick Simpson oil or versions of Rick Simpson oil
Yeah.
now, like Cali Blaze is doing solventless. I see that
Yeah.
popping up where you can smoke it, consume it.
Yeah.
It almost comes in a syringe where you can even dab small amounts per milligram. I know some guys whose parents were going through cancer, and the RSO versions of RSO were the best thing that they had for quality of life, getting through chemo, quality of life, getting through all that. I think it's definitely close to true medicine if you really need cannabis for seizures, for so many different factors. I think that's the closest thing you can get to really helping solve that problem.
Oh yeah, it definitely works. We get down with it here, bro. It's strong. Like when you get to taking like 400 and 500 milligrams, it gets crazy.
You'll stink at the gym like weed, bro. Like I remember I was running and after I had RS loaded the night before, and I had done it for consecutively like 3 days. And dude, I was like, I smell like wet weed. Like yeah, like I smell like dank weed, but it just smells like they got water on it. Like, and I know how do I know? I'm sweating, And I'm on the drive home. I was like, man, I fucking smell like weed, bro. Like I try not to smoke before I go, just because I want to, have a clear mind and just detox from the night before I have my first smoke. But yeah, dude, the RSO will make you smell like weed.
And when it hits, if you take enough of it, like the 400, 500 milligrams, man, it's crazy. And for cancer patients, they apparently tell them eventually to take the 1,000 milligrams a day. But I think you got to break that up. You couldn't take it in one because it's really strong.
You just wake up the next day for the next dose at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. We've been affected by this.
Live on air, huh?
Oh, well, not on there. Well, maybe Bobo was affected.
Yeah, I did.
I have not done it before. Look, so the night before I did it, right? But I did it late. So the thing about the RSO, if you do it in gel cap or if you do the rosin like he's got, if you do it late, it's going to hit you hours later, especially in gel cap form. So it might take 2 to 3 hours to hit. When it hits, it hits. So, and it's gonna wake you up, right? So if you took it at 10 o'clock or something like that, it's gonna wake you up to let you know it's there. You might go back to sleep, but when you wake up, you're gonna be high as fuck. And that's happened to me a couple times. I took it too late. That's why now if I take it early. That way, like, it could hit as I'm, like, supposed to be going to sleep, or when my time that I normally go to sleep, it hits me around that time. So I don't have to peel myself up off the floor, you know what I mean, and be really devastated, you know what I mean? Like, it sort of just puts you to sleep if you take a lot of it. We've experimented. We're extremists in here, most especially Bobo up there. So, we've been on the brink with the RSO and the full spectrum oils.
Buddy.
Yeah.
With the lowrider, with the smoke box, how do you pick a new vehicle? How do you know which one's the next one? They said you switch them out every once in a while.
No, I got two. I got my Cadillac and I got the Glass House here, which is a 74 Caprice. So they're both my cars, so I just switch them out. But preferably, I like doing them in the Caprice in the Glass House because it's bigger. It's more room. Whereas
there was one before the red caddy. That was
well, we used a few cars before the red
Right.
caddy. We used a brown caddy, a 4-door, which was the first vintage car, I guess you could say, we started using for the box. But like the first initial smoke boxes we did, we were like doing them out of random cars. Like, you know, the first one was a Charger that one of our guys that worked here had. A couple of them were in my car. A couple of them were in Red Tools. We're like, and then when we got the oldie, which was Vaha's car, the Cadillac, the 4-door. That's when we started doing them in that car. There was a lot of room in that car. That was cool because it's a 4-door. We made everybody sign the interior who came into that box. So like he's got the interior like, you know, stripped and or whatever, you know, so like you could put it in a frame or something. Everybody that was in that box.
Awesome.
And now we do them in my 2 cars. So yeah, and it is now that time.
Time for submissions. 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 Well, fire it up, Holmes. All right.
Shout to Bobo and Snacks.
Fucking Dom.
Reunited
Man,
finally.
you did good, Dom. You was nervous that time when I was up here just looking at you. Shaker. Saw that, right?
All right, first submission of the day here. We got the Brisket King up in here. Made some teriyaki and tri-tip chicken bowls yesterday.
Not very fair.
Smoker.
Damn, that looks good. That tri-tip. Oh, that's my favorite.
That's your favorite, huh?
Tri-tip is my favorite cut.
For me, it's brisket.
The tri-tip is just worth that for me. Like that color too, a pink.
I used to get down with it, but not so much anymore.
God, that looks
A
amazing.
little garlic.
But it
rice.
looks good right now. I would not say no to it.
You got a favorite LA spot to eat at that you don't mind blowing up?
There's too many.
Just say Fogo, dude.
And it depends on what it is, but like, yeah, Fogo's a good spot. It's a Brazilian barbecue. It's the best. This is where they torture us, by the way. I want you to know that this is an interaction from, you know, our fans that, you know, submit things. This is the torturous part for us as being stoners. Some of it, not all of it. Here you go.
And we got Dean Jones up in here saying dinner for our eldest son, Oni, who became a teenager this week. We had a nacho board with chili con carne, guacamole, and cheese sauce.
You see what I'm saying?
Damn. Colton, that looks like something you would be like, wow, this is great.
This is amazing. I would love this.
Bobo would be dipping in a second. Splat. Not on the avocado or the sour cream side, but right in the middle.
That's a tray of blowout right there.
Stick 'em. Stick 'em.
Damn, they squashed it. Look at that.
Clean that shit.
Well,
man.
to be fair, they're like under like 15, so like
They could take it.
You can eat whatever the fuck you want, bro. But you're that. They could have both each had a tray each, and they would have been like, "Yep, solid shits over here."
Yeah.
It's still gonna be funky up in there.
Oh, of course, but they ain't gonna sit there in pain, bro. Like anybody here, we fucked that up, bro. Like there's gonna be Tums, there's gonna be fucking Pepto Bismols.
No, they don't need no alka. They don't need none of
I
that.
don't need none of that.
Milk of magnesium.
They got just
Imodium AD.
all the things.
That show taught you some lessons, huh?
Yeah. He's going through it. Right, next.
And we got Fernando up in here saying the wifey and I enjoying a J of some apples and bananas.
Okay, enjoy, man.
That's healthy. With a joint. All right. It seems
Y'all
refreshing.
laughing at something though.
They look happy.
They're not.
Shout out Compound Genetics, apples and bananas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like somebody farted up in there. Oh, honey.
He probably did.
How could you do that?
He's got that look like he just did.
Looks like grown up Arthur.
Is that true love?
Yeah.
How you
true
like
love.
me now?
That is true love. All right.
Babe.
Yeah.
Next one's pretty good. We got Super Cami up in here saying, shout out all the way from Japan, and shout out to E-Zone, Be Real, and the whole Dr. Greenthumb crew.
Salute.
Much peace and love, and I almost finished recording my next album with a bunch of new Japanese artists.
Nice. Congratulations.
That's right, dog.
That's
And
one of my favorite places to go.
don't be lying, Be Real.
What? I've been going there
said that
before you were born.
I know, but I was like, I've never heard you talk about it, dog.
He said that yesterday. You brought it up.
What, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you need to
See?
zip it good right now.
I just never heard you talk about it. I remember
Look,
like
everywhere you go ain't a place that you just go. Like you went to Canada and made a big deal about Canada. We've been going there. We know how great it is.
but you never
And then you go to Japan and it's just like you're the only one that went. No, bro, we've been there. And yes,
just never
it's one
heard
of
you
our,
talk
it's
about it.
one of our favorite places to go, but we don't get to go there a lot.
It's on the real.
Jesus.
I just
Yeah.
never heard you talk about it. It's a shocker to me.
All right, Emperor.
Yeah.
Smoking in Japan in the 90s.
Yeah, you couldn't.
No way.
Huh?
Yeah, you couldn't. No.
Weren't you
We
banned
didn't-
for a while?
We didn't. Yeah, that's why I couldn't
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I got to go with the Prophets of Rage again, that somehow my band got lifted. Salute to Tim Krieg out there for that. Got me out there, and I got to go witness it again. Because I mean, it was always short with us. Because the one thing about Japan, in terms of booking acts to go down there, if the group ain't intact, they don't want it. It doesn't matter how dope you're laying it down with what you got right at the moment. If all the members are not going, they will send you back. And that's happened to us. There's a time we went with all the members and we did what we did and it was dope. Then we tried to come back, but one of the guys couldn't come, and they were kind of cool with it. They let us get on the flight. We land, and our tour manager had gone out there before us, right? Because he was on another tour with the Foo Fighters or Gwen Stefani or whoever he was rolling with, aside from us. He met us there, and so he got with the promoters. And in the middle of our flight, they decide, no, we can't put the show on because they're missing one guy. And the one guy hadn't been doing shows with us for like a couple years already, but because he was not going to be on that flight, they decided we're going to cancel these shows, and when we get the full band, we'll bring it back. That they're really like sticklers for that, right? So for a long time we could not go over there because we didn't travel with that member. It had to be that there had been enough time in between where they're used to the new guy or the new face or whatever, you know what I mean? And so we didn't go there a lot. But the times we did, we had a great time because it's a great place, man. It's a lot of crazy things to experience there, like just the culture and just everything about it, man. It's dope. The culinary, ridiculous.
That was a long way to fly for dinner.
Yeah, we flew for dinner.
We flew there
Basically.
for dinner.
Yeah. It's a great place.
You're like, no, this is the whole band. What
Yeah.
do you mean?
Yeah. But with the Prophets of Rage, we got to go in there and do that whole thing and like, set time to go experience different parts of Japan, and it was awesome. So if we as Cypress Hill can get down there again, it would definitely be dope.
B, for your first smoke of the day, is it usually in the morning, bright and early, or is
Yeah.
it all yeah.
Right after I work out. I'll work out, boom. Before I come here, and then we smoke like several times after. It all just kind of bleeds in. All right, what else you got?
And we got Christine up in here from the Be Real TV's member page showing off beautiful Vegas.
Took a trip. All right. Don't lose no money, which is almost impossible
You just don't gamble.
because it's built for you to spend your money.
Yeah, spend it on good food and shows. Don't
Yeah.
waste it on gambling.
There you go.
What do you guys feel about Vegas lately?
What do you mean, like post?
Yeah, just last few years, yeah.
Like go into the strip or what?
Yeah.
To stay away from there.
Well, I mean, just Vegas in general.
I think
I haven't really been there much except for shows. But I mean, I found like in those shows, it was liver than normal. Like, usually Vegas shows are like, they're cool, but they're mellow. But like in the last few we've done there since it opened back up, they were much more lively.
It's wild over there now. I mean, it's almost just about like how it was before the pandemic. It's just back to normal and a little more. I was just there a couple weeks ago. It's kind of, I mean, everything is happening. It's lit.
Sendog actually lives out there now.
It's lit.
Yeah.
And Trace,
no.
right?
Yeah, Sendog and our boy Trace. Three of our crew guys. Bobby Bigaret,
Bobby?
Trace, and Sendog. And our big bro, GF, Hall of Famer,
That's right.
WWE. You know what I'm saying? Our boys are out there, you know what I'm saying?
For the hospitality capital, Las Vegas, it'd be nice to see some lounges pop up out there.
I'm hearing
think
that
they are.
I'm hearing that lounges are gonna pop up over there. They just
I've heard people got licensing and everything.
Yeah.
That it's actually they're in the works.
they're in the
Vegas.
works, yeah.
Is that the hospitality capital? Is that
Oh,
what it
yeah.
seems
Yeah.
like? That, no, I'm saying, is that
Oh,
like
it is.
an acclaimed name?
It is
24-hour
Yeah.
room service. I mean, the
Because it fits. I'm just wondering, like, if that like a thing. I was like, damn, I got to take more advantage.
It used to be New York, the city that never sleeps, but it's actually Las Vegas.
Word up. That's the truth.
To be
Everything's
1,000.
going down.
And if you go out of the United States, it's somewhere else because there's plenty of places that don't have the rules and regulations we have. They could touch the real cities that never sleep, but for us, it's Vegas. All right.
And we got Bernard up in here saying, my secret OGs from a secret place. Growing some bud.
All right.
Noise.
Nice pots.
That little plant in the background is that's not bad, is it?
No.
No.
some type of pepper.
Some.
Yeah, it does look like a little pepper.
And next up in here, we got Jason up in here asking for a little joint rating.
To the neck.
Oh.
Oof.
Wow.
All right.
Who said oof?
All of us.
All right.
Terrible.
Is that a funky feel tip?
Yeah.
Could be clear.
It could be a
You get
clear
the point for that.
lipless. So it looks like you took a bath too long, like about an hour and a half bath and wrinkled up. Right here. I don't know what the hell. And right there at the neck, looks like somebody, prison shanked you. Let's keep going right.
Not bad.
Wash your hands before you roll a joint.
It looked like somebody raised something from the dead right here, my bro.
Holy shit, dude.
The good thing is it's got a decent shape. If you keep working at it, you'll figure those wrinkles out, and it'll be a nice, solid, smooth joint. But for right now in this moment, I got to give it about a 3.
Damn.
Yeah, he's brutal, bro.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking at my joint.
You hide it after that.
I mean, if
Oh,
I
my
rolled
shit,
that, I
man.
would have gave it a 3 too. I'm just saying.
He probably had
I've rolled some 3s.
Yeah.
I smoke threes all day. I'm happy with that one right there.
that
Real
dude,
talk. I'm not lying.
that
Yeah,
dude
I'm
probably
happy
had
with
his
that.
last paper, dude. Like they had the wrinkle on there. Like how sometimes it's kind of folded.
He looks
and
like
he
he's
just
in
like
the
crushed his dream, dude.
Glasses half full, I can see.
Yeah, no.
You know what it is? It's because we used to have rolling competitions who could roll the prettiest joint, and all that stuff. So we started doing that. And, when we stopped doing that, people started submitting their joints for ratings based off of that. And, so we give it to them. You asked for it, I'm going to give it to you.
Bring it.
And we got DJ Ballistic up in here saying they even have Ja Morant sitting out on 2K.
Oh, that's wow. That is ice cold. You don't even get to play with Ja on the video game.
That's cold.
Oh, that's how
They dressed
much
him up too, huh?
It's how much it trickled down.
I can't wait till the black market makes
That is
a
cold.
cutout bag of him, and then he call it he's like, yo, we smoking that Ja Morant.
There's a pistol at his
Morant.
ankle.
No.
He's got a pistol.
I was like, they did that. I was like, this is not NBA in the game. Somebody modified this for sure.
That's cold.
Yeah, but
The Grand Theft Auto
yeah.
version.
That's crazy. They had him sitting on the bench. Can't even use him in the game. That's reality, though.
Wow.
He's suspended. Hey,
fucked
NBA
up.
Live does that. They're like, nope, can't use him. All right.
And next up in here, let's see, we got Ghost Boogie, and he's asking why every time LeBron is reading a book, he's always on the first page.
That's ice cold.
That's fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, if you're gonna fake it, start from the end.
He's just getting started, man.
He finishes on the same day, man.
Maybe yeah.
It's some kind of Illuminati
Book a
message.
day.
It could be that he's just getting started. You know, let me show you this book. I'm just starting to read.
The cat in the hat.
I was about to say hop on pop or something. That'd be great.
Why not read a chapter a day?
Look into it, dude. It's numerics.
Like in front of in front of your fan base, whatever. Go live and
He's reading
read.
Dianetics, trying to get past the first page.
Oh yeah, no, no, I wouldn't even pick it up.
The book, How to Win the Championship.
No,
Oh shit.
how dare you? All right, next.
And we got Midget Mike up in here saying, finally got my winning funky field tips. Thank you so much to Be Real TV.
Fire.
Word up, salute.
Since way back, the funky feels.
With Roar, too.
Yeah, we were doing them with them
Way
first.
back.
OG brand. Yeah.
I still have some of those in my house.
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah.
And we got Up is Down up in here saying, never too late to start over. Don't want to be Gordo anymore. Working out to some Sade as well.
Do it, bro.
Hey, give him a round of applause, man. That's
Come
nice.
on, man.
Diamond Life.
Check
Whatever,
in.
whatever motivates you, man.
You gotta check in.
That's a real thing. When you really get tired of it, that's when you really change.
Yeah.
Like but you got to be tired of it.
Someone showed me a picture. That's what happened for
Yep,
me. I
yep.
kind of let go. I didn't know I was letting go. I was still in the gym, and I was still doing treadmill stuff, but my diet was bad, and I was eating late and drinking. And this is before like all the Instagrams would pop off and all that, right? I took a picture with these dudes, and about a week later, the dude who took the picture came back and gave it to me to sign, and I looked at myself, and as you're living with it, you're not really taking notice. You might be growing right in front of your own damn eyes, but you're not really noticing it that much, right? When I looked at the picture, I was like, oh my God. I knew, I was like, I got to do something different. And I changed my workout, changed the diet and the frequency of the workouts, and like eating the right stuff at the right time and like focusing, man. And yeah, it changed it up. But I had to see a picture. Like, forget that I was looking at myself every day in the mirror, not noticing it. It came to me in the form of, yo, hey, sign this. And I looked, I was like, oh God damn. Because the picture gave me everything. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Pac is big about this thing called checking in. And he'll
gotta
tag
check in,
everybody, and just to keep motivated.
We're
like
telling this
crew.
dude.
Yeah.
We gotta get him
Yeah.
in there, boys. I need
Yeah.
your guys' help.
You know what Bobo and myself and some of us in Cyprus did, and even here with E-Zone and a couple of our friends, is we got the iWatches, right? And they got the activity ring shit. And if you invite each other to each other's watch, you could troll each other's workouts.
Do you,
And then,
still, do you still get our notice? Do you still
yeah,
get,
I still get your notices, buddy.
so you get mine at like early in the morning. You're like, fuck, man.
I'm already up. Did
Yeah.
you get mine?
I do get it, but I'm like, but it's like, but I try to. I'm like either right out the way, and because I know you take your.
You get yours off before I do.
Yeah, like don't get. But it's like the reason I like that is because I'm like, fuck, man. I hate having to look forward to it. Like I'm like, man, dude, I could be doing so much other shit, but I just rather do it at like 6, and I'm like,
Yeah, better.
just let's do. If I get to 1,200 calories, all right, dude, I'm done. I could eat what I want.
That's good.
Yeah, like even though, but sometimes you overdo it, so you do have to space it out.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You could set your calories that you want to burn and all that on the daily, and you fulfill the rings. That's how we were.
That's the real check-in.
Started off on tour with Bobo and I. We'd be like, who burned the most during the show?
You could compete.
And then we brought that here, and then him and I competed, and Bobo and one of our boys, Dustin from Bart's Barbecue, and we've gotten others involved, but that's how we motivated each other, and I stay on it because I know they're watching my rings and I'm watching theirs too. So
That's a great way to do it.
yeah,
Yo, get ready for your Apple Watch.
I'm ready.
boom, there it is.
I'm ready.
All right, what else you got, Bolton?
And the last one of the day, we got Stevie up in here saying going to Monterey, California this weekend to see Cypress Hill. Shout to Isaiah and Chris, and the 5150s will be up in the house. Got this tattoo of the doctor by unauthorized ink.
Awesome. That's our bro Big Tiny over there.
Where is that, Monterey?
That's up north. That's
By Big Sur?
That's this Friday. And we're gonna be popping it off. It's called Cali Roots. And yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
It's a nice area.
A lot of weed's gonna be smoked this day.
Oh, it's gonna be blazing.
I hope they bring you some crazy stuff because up there they got flavors.
It's gonna be a lot of reggae and a lot of hip hop.
Wu Tang is playing. Cypress.
That's dope.
Bunch.
Yeah, man. I'd like to see this.
Is that a place where people bring you like
Michael Rose?
good ass flavors?
Nice.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes people be, bearing gifts and things like this. It's a pretty damn stacked lineup right here.
There's gonna be a lot of white girls with long armpit hair at that concert.
How dare you?
I'm telling you, man.
I don't think so. Things have changed. Things have changed, Calvin.
That's how Lance likes them.
Oh man.
Not at those
When's the last time you went to a reggae festival?
Well, there's difference. There's reggae. And there's white people reggae. There's two different ones.
Okay, when's the
White
last
people
time?
reggae bring
When's the
white
last
girls?
time you went to white people reggae?
Actually, you did a show. What's it called in San Diego with Slightly Stupid in them? That was
He
the
put
last
it on.
one.
He put it on us.
And
He
there
put it on
was-
us. B.
There was armpit hair. There was definitely armpit hair.
Oh man, I don't know.
I went,
I'm a big fan of Slightly Stupid.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, salute to Slightly
They're awesome.
Stupid.
I love Miles. Shout out to Miles. He's the homie.
Yeah,
man.
those are the
Love
pros
him.
right
yeah,
there.
they're peeps. I'm just saying, at their concert, there was hairy
It's more.
armpits.
It's more.
That's it.
It's more common than you think, bro. Like I was at the Renaissance Fair, and it was armpit hair galore.
They
bro.
trying to do natural, bro. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Look, man, I just speak these harsh truths. You can hate me for it, but these are facts, man. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I'm not disputing.
some want to get their Chewbacca on.
I'm not gonna leave you hanging. I agree.
That's a perfect
I
thing.
fully agree.
Wooks. There's going to be Wookiees there.
Yeah.
He said Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be Chewies there. You don't worry. Yeah, full effect.
Fire ice wax, good hash.
Oh,
Sounds
man.
like a good time.
There's going to be a lot of good hash.
Are you a
Extra
Chewy?
sweaty.
There will, yeah.
Psychedelics.
You crazy, man.
How irie do you want to get?
Yeah, how irate do you want to be?
Bring it.
Oh man, but there should be some fire out there to answer your question earlier. Do people give like? Because I mean, hey, there's a bunch of flavors down that way. Up in the north.
Cali stacked with good growers.
Yeah.
Word.
From top to bottom and in the middle. There's a lot of great cultivators. Some that ain't even on the map yet. With great genetics.
That's one of our favorite things about the show is they come out of the woodwork and we get to connect with growers, hustlers, breeders from they come out of the woodwork. They want to talk to you because you have the same passion. So that's one of the coolest things about the show is connecting with these guys that have the same passion as someone growing 1,000 lights and they got 2 and they've got it so dialed that they just like look at what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you got to highlight those guys because the game is built on the backs of folks like this, the cultivators for sure. Because I mean, they're the ones that bring the goodness into the world. So salute to all of them, man, all y'all out there, and the people that did the work to help make this be okay in a lot of places, so that people don't go to jail for it. Because that's a big deal too, man. A lot of people.
That's a lot of it has to do with you.
Oh, well, thank you. But, to everybody that got involved, man, that's what it takes. That's, now less people are going to jail for cannabis and there's more opportunity in cannabis than there is, the possibility of going to jail for it. Depending on if you're doing something stupid, though. If you do that, that's on you. So that's the cool shit that's happening now, at least.
And then they're still hanging people in Malaysia.
Yeah.
For weed. That was crazy.
What is that, China?
Poor guy.
Indonesia,
Indonesia,
Malaysia, over in that
I thought it
area.
was Singapore.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot
Singapore is where they just did it.
in a lot of the Middle East, it's, I mean, hey, you cannot. They'll they'll cut your damn head off, too.
That's what they did. It was like a little under 2 pounds, right?
Yeah, anything
that.
over 1.1 pounds is you can get the death penalty.
Half a kilo. Half a kilo, because
Yep.
2.2 pounds a kilo, so that's half a kilo. That's terrible.
Which for that brickweed isn't much.
Nothing.
That,
Are you
like-
kidding? It's terrible.
It ain't worth it. That's for sure.
No,
They
there's
made
no
him.
wheat worth
They made him an example. Like, don't fuck around over here.
Sad.
Do not, because we will take your damn head off.
Yeah, and that was, by the way, I think like conspiracy, like phone calls. It was phone records, like so. It wasn't even like they caught him in the act. It was like they were able to track 2 phones, or he had 2 or 3 phones, and through the phone stuff is what he got convicted for. So it wasn't even like in his possession.
So it was like intent.
It was conspiracy. Conspiracy. Exactly that.
Yeah.
Fetty Wap.
Yeah. But he got killed for it.
Damn.
The Fetty Wap of Indonesian weed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. If you're thinking about smuggling things from or to a place that is no joke like that, watch a movie called Midnight Express. That is one of the most fucked up smuggler movies ever.
True
And what that guy had to deal with for trying to take that chance. And and that'll put it in perspective for you, because it could be that depending on where you're at. See the bars I flipped in there?
Yes, sir.
Just kind of snuck it in there.
Bars.
Word up. Don't forget to check out the Mix Show tomorrow after this show. The Dr. Greenthumb Mix Show on Twitch, B_Real TV is the place. Psycho Les and myself going to jump on the turntables, pop it off for you. So I will remind you now. And if you haven't smashed the like yet, go ahead and do that. Subscribe if you're not. Crash that all notification bell and get down with the content we're dropping. We still got the smoke boxes that we just popped off for you. T. Woodley being the last one. MMA, UFC legend, and friend of the show. So make sure you check it out. And the rest that exists there. Shortly, we will, dwell inside the insane asylum, so the voices can be heard. But we just wanted to give you that friendly reminder. And everybody that's joining us for the first time, we thank you for being here with us. We got Black Leaf and Pack Gods of the first smoke of the day with us today, and we're smoking nice right now. A lot of good flavors.
Yeah.
Popping off.
Yeah, man. It's good hash time right now.
It's always good hash.
Donuts. What's this crazy tree of
Okay,
hash
so
smoking devices?
okay, so let's discuss the Koala Tower of Power. So Koala Puffs, I'm sure you're familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
She came to do the box, and when she came to do the smoke box, she talked about this piece here, I believe. Or did she bring this before the box?
No, talked about it before
She
the
talked
box,
about
yeah.
it before she did it, right? And the very next time we had her come in, she brought this thing, and she created it. And it's all the G-Pen hires, about 14 of them or so, all connected and all loaded up. And we all took, blasts from it. It's here goes the video from it right here.
And it was all Cali Blaze shit.
Yeah,
we
I
got
think if you
7
take
grams in there.
I think if you remove get a shorter hose, it's better. But
Kelly, why do you say it like he's like? I remember he was
smoking it like a hookah.
he was.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like the Terminator of weed.
yeah. So yeah, this is that thing in operation, and it's pretty devastating. You know what I mean? Depending on how many hits you decide to take from that, because the glass is significant, right? So to clear it and keep carbonate, yeah, it's going to be an experience for you. Salute to Koala for making that happen. There goes Psycho Les taking his, which is a surprise because he never likes
Yeah.
to be doing this.
He couldn't miss
Hey,
that opportunity.
he took a real big hit though for a guy who doesn't do this shit as much.
Yeah, that was a surprise. There goes the Dominator. All right, got lungs. And there goes GF right there in the background, legendary.
Look at that monster.
Thinking about breaking it.
The Godfather. He probably wanted to break it. Yeah.
I'm like barely above his shoulder.
Yeah.
Look at how big that motherfucker is.
He could use you as a
I'm going
kickstand.
back in. I'm relighting. I'm like, let's go. There's B.
Bring it.
Yeah. It
That
works.
ain't- that ain't the way to break in someone new.
No. Someone that doesn't smoke that much should not hit this for the first time. No, you work your way up to that. It's like a video game. You know, you got to work level up. That's leveling up right there. Crazy. But fun.
I got this sent in for Cali Blaze from GLA Rain. Sent this in for Blaze here.
The fuck is that? Nice work. Nice work. Perfect. Yeah. See you at Cali Roots.
Oh wow.
Good job on that, G.
You almost made me spit Macallan whiskey up,
great.
mate.
At first, I was like, what is this? And I was like, all right, wait.
Is that your go-to, McAllen?
Not necessarily, but it is. Macallan is really good. I like Macallan. There's other ones. Brand is escaping me right now off the top. I'll remember it though. But we're about to go into the Insane Asylum. So if you got comments, questions, shout outs, suggestions, now is the time.
Welcome to the Insane Asylum.
All right, let's do this. We got Sugar Shane up in here saying first smoke of the day. That episode with Rick Ross still has me working on my breathing technique, laughing my ass off. That was a great episode. Did you guys ever go to Wingstop afterwards?
Oh, we're from the South. We know all about Wingstop.
We've been on Wingstop.
Checkers. We know about Rick Ross.
Yeah.
That was fun. He's a character.
Yeah, that was fun.
Middle of an episode, he's like, Pat
He's
got
like, let's
asked,
all take 5 deep breaths together. And we did it
everyone sat back.
in the middle of a podcast.
Slow 5 deep breaths. Yeah, it was funny. You asked him if he meditates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. Those kind of things happen. Yeah. Rick Ross though, that's
He was telling all the smokers to make sure you work out, exercise. Shit
yeah. I
like
mean, that's all.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you enjoy it more. He went into. I fully agree with that too.
Absolutely, meditation is great for you. Sure, it's
Working out though, it makes the smoke. You just enjoy it more. I feel like.
absolutely clears your mind too.
Yeah.
I like how he talked about grounding too. He's like, I like to go outside with my shoes off and actually have my feet on the ground.
Yeah.
He's like, there's something to that. I thought that was pretty
Hard
good.
to do that in LA, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There's people that do it at Griffith Park, dog. Like,
Well, in the park, yeah.
I be seeing these fools when I be going hiking. I'd be like, bitch, I got hiking boots on. You tripping?
The ones that sleep there?
No, like, I'm like, bro. Like, so I don't know them personally, but they do say hi. You know, like the hikers hi. But it's like, what is it? It's like a group of like these 4 Asian women, and they just like fucking just walking like. And I'm like, it's like a little spiritual fucking experience. I kind of like observe them from when I get to the top. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are they doing? And just like walking on the grass. It's like a connection. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm like,
It's real.
I'm not
Yeah,
hip
it's
to it, but you know, I mean, they look cool. I grasped the, you know,
I would do that on my grass.
yeah.
I know what's on my grass. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
provided the neighbor's dog did shit on my grass. You know?
they weren't walking all the way up there. I saw when they got to this area, which is like where the garden is at, and it's like it's a shared garden. It's all, and it's like this very grassy patches where it's like, you know, and I'm like, that's where they take their shoes off and they start walking. And I'm like, it looks like Tai Chi-ish and shit.
Trying to get that the connection to the ground.
Yep.
To the
Yeah,
earth.
Grounding.
Grounding, yep.
And we got Damage up in here saying, yo, guys, just got the green light today to say I'm eligible for medicinal cannabis in Scotland.
All right.
I
Congratulations.
Hell yeah.
Fire.
These are not the voices in your head.
Shout out to Scotland.
Yeah.
shout out to groundskeeper Willie.
That's right.
He's saying I got 10 grams of Girl Scout cookies and a THC dropper of 20 milligrams priced at $85 for my first prescription.
It's not bad actually. 10 grams.
Nice.
$35.
You think that's real Girl Scout?
Oh no.
I mean,
It's
Who
tough.
knows?
It's tough to say
Who knows?
because it's a
Yeah.
possibility.
they might be growing, popping.
It's a
who knows?
possibility. Probability is maybe it's not, but it is possible.
Send us some.
Because the genetics have traveled overseas. That is for sure. There was like strains that came from California that are now available across Europe. You just got to know where it's at. And
Yep.
so it's possible.
I feel like we're all hyper connected now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like
Well, a lot of those
people are making moves.
a lot of the Euros came down here to learn how to cultivate these strains properly. And they went back home and took that knowledge and they're actually doing it right.
Yeah.
It's just you got to know who they are.
Dude, there was one instance where I said that I think it was on one of my streams, and somebody was listening in like I'm gonna say it's like Finland or something like that, and then he was like, no, and I laughed about it. I was like, you ain't growing no fire out there and this and that, and he was like, I'm for real, man. He's like, I'll send you some, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, I've sent you. He had sent me a few collectibles before, because I'm in the resale business too. So like he already had my address, and I get this fucking letter, bro, just like a regular letter, with the stamps and everything. And he had cut out a perfectly little vac seal, little package, wrapped it up in like some other envelope, and it was perfectly just enough, like 1.5. I waited at the end, and it was some fucking fire, bro. And I literally looked for his name. He's like, this is my Instagram if you want to talk about it. And I was like, touche, bro. This is some fire you sent me, but. You'd be surprised, like at least I never thought somebody would actually share it or go that far, but there probably are some places that
Oh no, for sure.
they probably have real cuts.
The fire's in the grower. It's not in the
Definitely.
location.
No way.
They can grow fire. Some of the best weed I ever smoked was like away from obviously stuff we were growing was in Costa Rica. Some homegrown in Costa Rica 15 years ago. I was blown away. It was straight bubble gum.
Yeah.
Indoor. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I've come across, as touring with Cypress and with the Prophets of Rage, I went into places where previously they didn't have great weed available. And boom, all of a sudden, from one year to the next, fire. Like Brazil, for instance, in Rio, it was always boof down there, bricks of brown and all that. Ugly situation for a stoner there, and for me, in our squad, if it's boof, we ain't touching it. Even if it's mids, we're not really trying to touch it. We will go without. And man, we made a couple of calls to people back home that knew people out there, and they had fire, like California style fire, and we were like, what? When we saw it, because we didn't get our hopes up. We're like, because what they think is fire and what we know to be fire is two different things, right? But when we saw it for the first time, we're like, wow. They've stepped up, because like a couple of years back, they didn't have none of this out here, because we've known the same people. But like, again, from one year to the next, somehow the genetics got out there. Somehow that person keyed in on how you cultivate these particular genetics, and now they're flourishing out there in these places. It's not that hard to find great cannabis.
When you guys went to either Chile or what's it called, Argentina,
The place where the
they
guy
had
jumped
some
off the roof.
Fire,
Yeah,
they
fire.
had some
Fire in Argentina.
I
that's
remember
right.
seeing the videos. I was like, wow.
That was the place the guy jumped off the
Bro.
roof, right?
Huh?
That was the place the guy jumped off the roof.
Yes.
Yes.
Brazil.
Yeah,
What, bro?
No, it wasn't Brazil. That
it
was
was Argentina.
It was
Yeah,
Argentina.
that's why I will forever remember that trip story.
Yeah,
that
that
you
was
shared. I was like, yo,
that was crazy.
I was like, the tour story was cool, dude, but I
So-
can't.
And that's when you were with Prophets,
Yeah,
right?
so we were with the Prophets of Rage, and we were doing a tour throughout South America. We stop in Argentina. Bobo's living in Argentina at the time, so he comes and hangs out with us. And we're in my room smoking weed first, and then we decide we're going to go get breakfast, because we started early and breakfast was still happening, or maybe it was lunch or something like that. But so I forget my wallet. I go back up to get it. And in the time I went up and came back down, some dude had jumped off jumped out of his window, plummeted to his death. And, people from outside were coming in trying to tell the manager that they saw someone jump. Manager's like, calm down. You didn't see what you thought you saw. And then someone from another room across, because it was one of those hotels that it's like the hotel for, folks that are coming in to rent a hotel room, and then, a residence. And one of the guys in the residence jumped out of his window, and apparently he was an accountant for like a couple of famous people. Bobo probably knows that better than I do, but apparently he jumped. This dude was trying to stop him from jumping, and this lady was walking by, saw the whole thing, so she ran in first and was talking about that some guy jumped. They didn't want to believe her. Then the guy who was trying to talk him out of jumping comes down and he's crying, talking about the dude just jumped, that he was, trying to talk him out of it. And then a few of the Bell guys who had saw him came talking that shit. And then, an hour later, the ambulance comes through. Then about 20 minutes after that is when the police come through. This guy's already dead. His melon is just blown. Yeah. But it took them that long to get anybody to come look at him and then pick him up and take him off,
It
put
was
him
it was Maradona's very first manager.
Wow.
Maradona, the superstar football player.
And he smoked himself?
Yeah.
Oh, he for sure had something
He jumped out.
going on.
He jumped out the window and splat. And
According to the guy who saw him, he was sitting there thinking about it, and the guy was trying to talk him out of it the whole time. And they didn't know each other. You know what I mean? They were strangers to. I mean, they lived in the same building, but they didn't know each other. You know what I mean? And was trying to talk him out of it, and homie just took the leap. And the lady who just happened to see it, as many people that were walking down the street, she actually saw it. She was the first to come run and tell the bellhop. Bellhop was saying something. They weren't paying attention to him. Then she ran in like crying because, she was in shock. And then the dude comes down from the elevator. That's when they start reacting. But it took them forever to get there to go find this guy. And our tour manager was working out, and he heard the thump of, and then when he went up to his room, he was on the side that you could see the guy's body, like from his balcony.
It probably sound like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy times.
An hour to show up. That sounds like what's happening in Cali with when
The break.
distros get robbed or
Yeah.
dispensaries. Like no one's showing up. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. All right.
And we got Wilfred up in here saying, I did a deep dive on boom bap hip hop for a mix I'm working on and discovered that Be Real is on tracks from DJ Premier, Pete Rock, and Jay Dilla. There's only a small group of MCs who can say that.
And add Dr. Dre to that list too.
Oh,
Excellent.
We got Heebie Jeebie up in here saying, Yo, B.
Yeah.
A red 64 SS will be a dope addition to the Smokebox Garage.
Oh,
you don't
wouldn't it?
You don't have a red car.
I don't. And he does. And it's awesome.
Bring it.
Talk to me, man.
He buys it, dude.
Let's figure it out, man.
the paint job on that one that's in there now is incredible.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the graphics bring it all together.
We got heavy hitters up in here saying First Smoke of the Day is my second favorite podcast. He's saying I only catch the premiere if I've been up all night. They drop a lot of knowledge and have the best cannabis culture guest.
That's right.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
Family.
You hear what he said? If he's up all night.
I want to know what the first is.
Be Real TV. Come on now.
Yeah, bro. Come
The
on.
Dr. Greenthumb podcast.
Yeah.
Better be.
You know it.
Right on.
And we got Matthew up in here asking for the table's thoughts on, do we need to change how people trim weed? What are your
Yes.
thoughts?
Yeah.
Don't touch the
Overshave.
flower.
I think it's more
Touch
about
the
the
stem.
cure.
There you go.
More about how people cure their weed.
Yeah.
That's
That-
the issue.
That, but right now people are hiring a lot of trim crews, right? And what's happening is they're letting them manhandle the flower as they're trimming it.
To do
All
it
the crystals
fast.
off.
Yeah.
Touch the stem, manicure the flower.
Yep.
The flower should look mountainous, right? Like when you see a mountain range and there's depth, there's crevices, that's how the flower should look, not rounded off into
Right.
a
Shaved.
butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
They
buzz
like-
cut.
Terrible.
just care about it. You just spent 90 days to 120 days if it's from,
Yep.
just give it the love that it needs.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
a disservice to just shave it down like that. You're losing a lot of the trichomes and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you even said curing. How many people realistically are even curing? Like I know Kenji and a couple people who literally still bucket cure. Everybody else I know, real talk, big, heady brands as well. Trim to bag.
Do you
Petty,
consider
man.
putting it in a turkey bag curing?
No,
Okay.
no. Because that's what they do. They say I cured it. No, Absolutely. If you're not burping it, you're not.
Yeah, you got to
know.
burp it.
Yeah.
No, and it should be in. If you're using like brown paper bags and you're keeping it in the dark, you're doing it right. Then you're curing it. But because it's sat in a turkey bag in a black bag, no, you didn't cure.
You can get black mason jars too. Even if you don't have it like on a grower level.
The
Just
seed
get
vaults.
black mason jars or the seed vaults. Yeah, I use the seed vaults.
Those sea vaults are great.
Yeah, those seed vaults. They come in many sizes. Even if you have a pound to stash, literally get a little Bovito pack in there and you'll be good. You'll be good to go, bro. And those things will last you for like
They do.
It'll make your pack smell good forever.
Yeah, it's
25%.
process. Yeah, there you go. 25% of the people actually cure. It's the truth. Nobody really does it, and it's nothing. And people don't talk about it.
How can you tell though? I mean, now that you're telling them, like, how can you tell?
Stickiness, smell right away. Like you know, how a lot of times you got to look for the smell because it's like green. You smell it. You don't.
Or you
smell
gotta
it.
crack a
That's
nug.
what I mean. You got to look for it.
Yeah.
That's uncured weed. Cured weed will hit you. Smell it through the bag, baby. Like you don't have to crack that bud. It's already seeping out of the bud.
And there's a fine line between that and then people that do 120 to 200 day cures.
Too long.
And then it doesn't taste like much
No,
anymore.
too much is degrading,
They charge
converting.
1,200
No,
QP.
It's a
Too long.
science. You got to dial that shit in.
that's
No.
way too long.
Yeah. All right.
And
What
we
else?
got SS Rider up in here saying, "Hey, yo, Cypress.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see y'all on Friday." And yo, B, do you think LeBron is gonna stay with the Lakers?
Yeah, I believe he's still got another year if he's not going to retire. So yeah, and I think in that time of loss, he was just being emotional and vulnerable. I think you'll see him give it one more go because think about it like this, right? The time the team that they put together that made this run towards the end of the season, they didn't get a full season to play together. They're just sort of getting into the rhythm now of playing together. But if they had a full 82 games and they stood healthy with the right guidance, yeah, I mean, you saw what they did against a team that had it all in together. They were just trending up and building up the whole time. Like, they got beat by a great team right now. And this is with them not having a full training camp together and not having a full season together. Some of these pieces got added in the middle of the season. So when you think about what they've done, getting to the Western Conference Final with these pieces, having to learn how to play together through half a season to get to this point, that's pretty damn good. So if they keep this team together and add maybe one or two pieces and discard one or two, get the right ones, yeah, they could make another run and potentially get that ring that they're looking for, get 18. And I think potentially another coach. But they seem to like this one. So, hey, he got him this far. It is what it is. So we'll see what happens.
And we got Carrot Lemonade asking, first smoke of the day, do you guys microdose or do any kind of mushrooms?
Start it off, Pack.
Not on the regular. Nah, I do maybe like once or twice a year. I mean, I'll really like take it though. But I stopped doing that shit recreationally because I went on an ayahuasca ceremony for 3 nights.
Damn.
And that was one of the lessons that I was being taught, is just stop misusing the medicine.
Right.
Even with this, honestly, it was, we overuse, we're using a lot of it, it's meant to be ceremonial.
Yeah.
Right.
My ceremony just happens to be every 5
I know.
minutes. That's,
We overindulge.
I'm a
But,
celebratory
we're
kind of
trained
guy.
consumers, brought up in America. This is how they just since babies. This is how we get trained. Supersize it.
We definitely
You know what I mean?
overindulge. When people from Europe, when they smoke out with us and they see how much weed we put in, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they sprinkle weed into tobacco.
Yeah.
They just put a little bit in there.
They're like, you guys are savages.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, I guess we are.
Meanwhile, here consumers don't. If it's not under 30% THC, they don't even want to talk about it. Which is the most overrated. Terpenes have a higher effect than THC
for sure.
But
I don't know any real smokers that are like, what's the percentage?
It's younger.
I've
people.
never heard
No
that.
one's even thinking
I've
about
never
that.
heard that once.
It's
I
the
would
same
be
with
like,
alcohol.
It's a small percentage. A small percentage of people that are looking at that.
It is the same as alcohol, but you got to remember that we're a small percent compared to like the masses out there that go to the supermarket and look at a new drink and it's like, oh, what's the percentage on it? And like, I wonder what's it made out of. They have to see that in the packaging.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but they don't know what to consider, man. It's like when you'll see the difference, or you see the difference when you go to like these modern day events and then you see like who's smoking some fire shit and who's just smoking some shit that came in a fancy bag.
Ooh.
You know, like I like the bags. Don't get me wrong, bro. Like it's they're cool as fuck. The aesthetic aspect of marketing on it is great, bro. But it's got to coordinate and match the flower.
They can be very misleading.
True
Yes,
that.
yes, it can.
True that.
One of the things we always ask is it smoking?
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pretty, there's a lot of smell good.
Does
is it
smack?
smoking?
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah. As far as psychedelics, shout out Sacred Fruits. I did a long, rich history of trying mushrooms, and then as I get older, I just like really good, strong weed with good hash, and I'm pretty good.
I could relate to that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And we got Twackalack up in here saying, "Can we get a moment of ohms, por favor?"
All right, so that whole thing you did with Rick Ross,
Yeah.
this is where we do it again, right here.
All right.
But we add the ohms.
Perfect.
You guys are
I
gonna.
see you looking at
How
me.
about you? How about you, buddy?
I didn't look on you on purpose, dude.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I
no,
know.
you gotta join.
Look,
I know,
Space
dude. Yeah.
Buddy.
All in together now, like Meth said. All right, chill out, man. I feel great.
Between
Really
Cali
does.
Blaze and B, you guys, your voices carry. Both of you guys, you got that bass.
definitely.
Yeah,
See, Bobo, I saw you inhaling during one of the.
Yeah, right.
Way.
Yeah, I had
I
to
saw
let
him.
out a big.
I looked at him. I seen him. I'm like, wait, how can he be oming?
I
if he's
saw that shit
inhaling,
too,
right?
bro. Yeah, I was
See?
like,
Caught you on the screen,
like,
bro.
the
Jig-
camera went on you and he was chilling back.
I
like,
missed an ohm. I missed
he
one.
missed one.
You owe us
I
an
missed
ohm.
one. I took a hit,
He
and then I
owes-
got to the next one.
He owes one, by.
No,
All right.
fucking ohm.
And we got
What do you
Midget
want
Mike.
from me?
We got Midget Mike up in here saying, "Yo, B, digging the splash. That CBX sweater is fire. Let's fucking go."
Salute to
Fire.
CBX. It was for a collaboration we did with them in a flavor drop. So salute to CBX.
that is a nice sweater. I thought it was like some new shit that was coming out. But it looks
It was limited series.
I like that Kangol that goes with it.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
And we got Jesus up in here saying, "Kenji's name always comes up. He must be legendary."
Actually, is
He's
not like
legendary.
as the joke legendary.
Go
Really.
check out his episode on First Smoke of the Day.
If
If
you-
YouTube,
If you could get some
he's
weed,
on there.
some weed grown by him, you better grab that shit, bro.
I used to hear about it on the East Coast, and I hear about this like legend, and I used to think of him as like Mr. Miyagi, And I was like,
Yeah.
one day I want to know who this guy is.
I was with a few friends of mine at Scott Storch's, and he would not stop talking about Kenji the whole time. He goes hard for Kenji for sure, and that was before I had met him. So I was just like, damn, like I got to meet this dude.
Same with Ben Baller. When I met him, he's like, "How's your weed?" He's like, "Cause I get shit from Kenji." I was like, "Damn, dog."
Out here,
He
in
flexed on you like that?
like in the cannabis world, that's a West Coast legend right there.
Yep.
In fact,
Word up.
And we got T. Perez asking E, who's coming after you and XG? Who's the informant? Informant.
Apparently YouTube, because they demonetized us, and Twitch has been being cool, but you want all the exclusive shit, even the uncensored when the mics are off type stuff, go to Patreon. It's worth it.
How crazy is that? If you have to demonetize yourself so that you don't get strikes,
terrible.
and then you have to figure out how to make it work still, right? It's like you could do these amazing videos that get views, and people don't realize like that's zero.
And then people don't understand how hard it is to make your fan base that you've been working on hard the whole time, all of them to fully transition into this new venture that lets you have the freedom to be yourself without censoring you.
And not only that, it costs money to create the content. It doesn't just happen for free.
Yeah, straight up. I don't know. These people think that you get invited to all these places. Like we don't pay money to just go to make content. Like, bro, we're all going there, bro, to make content and all this stuff. It's like it's a production. It's just not on like CBS or NBC and shit, bro. It's independently funded.
Yeah. And if you're smoking, enjoying it, comment, say what up, and support the show, whichever way you can.
Smash that subscribe button.
Hey.
All that.
We got AJ Sense up in here saying salute to everyone on the show. You guys were talking about working out high. Last week I jogged on the beach high as hell, and it was the best jog ever. I was super focused.
Correction, we work out before we get high.
There you go.
Right?
I do. I have.
I do as well.
The other, you know, at times like before, you know, several years back, I used to smoke before, and I would have that same focus. Like I'd like work out longer than I normally would if I wasn't high. Because like if I wasn't high, I'm looking at the clock like, okay, I'm giving myself this time, and I stood hard on that time, right? But when I was getting stoned previously, I just go past that time. I wasn't even looking at it, and it sort of put me in more of a zone. So maybe I should smoke beforehand, but these days, now I'm smoking after.
Would you ever smoke before a paintball tournament, or would you?
Oh, we did that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. We were locked in.
That's how he was getting all the other teams
I know. I remember that.
all fucked up.
Yeah,
Pass it around.
See, they didn't have the tolerance that we had, so like we could smoke before games, and we'd know our strategy and know what all the moves we were supposed to make, right? Other guys would forget. They'd like make some horrible mistakes on the paintball field that cost their team some losses. And that's what happens if you come smoke with us beforehand, man. You know, we had a team of elite smokers.
How do you not smoke with these dudes? You know what I'm saying? Like you're there, you got to smoke with them.
Yeah, if you don't have a great tolerance, you should try to do it after, especially in paintball, man, because like it's painful, you know.
Yeah, it's just no joke, especially on those fields.
Yeah, especially when you're a target.
You're fucking painted.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
We got Big Sean up in here saying, be real. You have motivated me ever since the end of the pandemic to work out. I have lost over 30 pounds since then, and I was 308, and now I'm down to 270.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations. Right. Keep it pushing.
Let's fucking go. That's fire.
You know, whatever motivated you in the beginning, let that stay the motivation, man. Don't get comfortable with it. Don't sit on it. Think you could, like, it has to be a part of your lifestyle of you, right? Not like a fix-it plan. Because, like, we all stay active pretty much because we know it's good for us. You know, it's not that, okay, I got to get this amount of pounds off of me before this or that. Nah, it's just a part of who we are at this point. So don't let it go. Keep that and continue to push.
We got Kale up in here saying early 90s Canadian got the weed growing game down.
Word.
They did back then, especially in the bulk of the masses. Nobody else was
BC
sending.
bud?
Yeah. It was terrible. Don't get me wrong. It was orange, tight. But for that time, they had it down pat. Like they were bringing in tons and tons and tons and tons.
There was a lot of it.
Yeah. Yes, literally tons at a time.
That defined the term AA, AAA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and out here for a time, we were getting a lot of Humboldt County weed and a lot of BC bud. BC bud was okay. The Humboldt County weed was really good.
You were lucky.
We were lucky.
Very.
Yeah.
Only sometimes, though, not all the time.
East Coast is brutal.
We get the dirt down in Florida growing up.
Yeah, so did we.
Well, you guys got the good BCs. We got the bullshit ones.
Yeah,
we got the bullshit BCs.
You got the pick.
We got the pick, and then whatever didn't went down I-95 straight down 95.
I hate BC, bud.
Of course.
Yeah, same here.
No, it's disgusting.
Homegrown's where the fire is.
It was definitely a thing, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
But terrible for sure. Oh, terrible.
There is great BC bud. It's just we didn't get access to it.
Yeah.
You know?
You think they called it BC Bud in Canada, or we just called it that?
No, I think there was a strain of it, you know, based in British Columbia. All right.
And we got Trollface up in here saying cold start dabs are the way to go.
Cold start dabs, yeah.
Just have some alcohol ready to clean your banger.
Should always have it hot or cold.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like you gotta have to like dip the whole thing
immediately.
You gotta immediately.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite way to dab?
I'm sorry.
There's two different ways. There's convenience, proxy, Puffco proxy. Like I like that. What I like about the proxy. Told people like with almost all of these units, it's still head down. You know, like that. With the proxy, you could still like a gentleman sit there and eye to eye and talk to somebody. So I like that for like convenience. But a rig and nail, like straight up cracky torch, right temperatures, and I take big rips, like at least half gram. Like a regular dab is usually around 1/2 gram. So I need it like these. I love those, but they can't fit enough. You put 1/2 gram, it's a mess. You know what I mean? You're not getting that same rip. Like, and if you're hot enough, you can melt that down in 3 good inhales. It's gone.
I was going to ask, a cold start dab, would that be like what the Rome does? For example?
Yeah, they cold start. If you have it in the Rome when you heat it up, right?
Right.
So cold start just means you take the glass, you put the whatever your concentrate in the banger prior, heat it up very little bit, and then cap it. So instead of the other way of heating it and timing it, not everybody has, a temperature gauge. So cold start is a safer way to not burn it. I could tell you that. If you don't have a way to do it, cold start's a safer way. You could just get used to that glass. Each glass, whether it's glass or quartz is going to take longer to heat up, but then it's going to continue to rise. So you got to be careful. You have to stop.
Not overheat it, yeah.
Or to burn it, yeah.
Otherwise, you're taking a hot one, baby.
yeah.
All right, next.
And we got Ampora up in here saying, I won 2 tickets to any Cypress Hill concert with a meet and greet in the United States. And he's saying, to my choosing, as I am from Europe, I have to plan accordingly. He's saying, what concert would be the best meet and greet and the most enjoyable for both parties involved?
Bobo, what do you think?
Wow, what spot? Man.
Nah, not these.
Oh yeah, send him out to Milwaukee.
No, you wouldn't want to have a good, cool spot. I mean, Canada's always
Toronto
lit.
would be
London?
fire. Toronto would be fire.
London.
Canada's always lit.
Oh, okay.
London and Canada.
Denver. Okay.
Denver would be a special one right there.
Yeah, that's going to be with the symphony.
So that's a good one.
It's hard to beat Cali though. Coming from there, you want to be smoking and
Yeah, you want to come to Cali,
San Diego.
which I think is in October.
Yeah, Cali's in October sometime.
Yeah,
as far as LA, I'm thinking.
Yeah, in terms of LA, that would be in
Netherlands,
October.
Italy.
October 6th.
Damn, Bogota.
Well,
That's
it's not
fire.
okay. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily on the calendar yet, but it will be.
What do you think about the weed in Colombia?
Surprisingly, I've had some really good weed in Colombia a few times already.
They're progressive down there.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
time. They're getting better.
Yeah.
It's
They
probably one of the better climates to grow cannabis. Like if you're going to do outdoors too, or
Yeah, they
light
are.
dep or whatever.
They are growing outdoors.
Yeah.
Big time.
They got good strains too. I actually had some strains that were like, oh my God, all right, they're doing it out here.
yeah.
They left the cocaines and went to the cannabis.
They didn't leave it. They just added it.
Yeah.
They added it.
I feel like that was the beginning
Yeah.
down there.
Oh, it is. Weed was
Yeah.
like their mecca before
Yeah.
Coke. That was their
Before even
that was their
Mexico.
export.
Yeah.
Oh, they were the gold standard. If you were getting Colombian weed, you were getting good weed. I hate to say it, but the Mexican was the lower grade growing. The Colombia was like, that was the good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was the gold
That
standard.
mountain climate.
Yep.
They have a
Yep.
hash festival down there every year called Dabadoo.
Oh, yeah.
Put on by Mila.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
That's
hash
sick.
queen.
No, they got cannabis
Mila's
culture.
OG.
They got cannabis culture over there like crazy. All right.
And we got Cars and Cannabis up in here saying, what up, y'all? Just stopping by to show some more love and cheers to everyone at the table.
Salute.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Salute.
And we got Scooby Snacks up in here saying he likes to have a Seattle speedball, a little coffee, and a joint in the morning.
There it is.
I agree.
I like that
I
name.
agree.
See
I
how
like that
speed-
feeling too.
Yeah,
Hey,
The winning combination.
that's how I
everybody
do.
loves a little speedball.
Yeah, Seattle Speedball.
Bring it.
And we got JSV up in here saying in the super chat, Ayo, E-Zone. Happy hump day.
No. He got him.
Oh, got it.
I thought we were gonna go one day.
Oh,
without
you
you
almost
saying it.
went. You almost went a full show without it.
I fucking hate you, Coach.
Colton did that from his gut this time.
He waited. He even took a pause on you.
I'm gonna invite Marvell to my show, dude.
As you could tell, that really bothers him. That's right.
They got your number up there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. How does next Thursday sound, Marvell?
Holy shit, dude.
He'll have to ask his stepfather.
Oh man.
And that seems to be it for the super chats.
Hey, we want to thank you for your interaction, your love and support, and your time with us. We appreciate it always, and we send you positive vibes. And we want to thank our guests, Black Leaf and Pat God, for coming up in here and chopping it up with us, man. Salute to you guys.
Salute, man. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, all you guys. Shout out Kenji. Shout out B, Cali Blaze, E-Zone, everyone behind the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
Our whole team, thank you.
Word up.
Absolutely.
Callie, you got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out, of course, first smoke of the day. Thanks for coming through today, guys. Shout out to 5150s, Insane Asylum, my girl, my family, everybody who supports us. Much love.
Bolton.
Shout the Insane Asylum. Thank you guys so much. Shout to Ray Morning Shot Films. Shout to the Dominator. And what's going on, Eric Bobo.
All right, catch me on the socials on Twitter at Eric Bobo, on IG at Eric_Bobo, and on Discord at Bobo's Corner, and on the Insane Asylum Be Real TV. Thanks to our guests for coming on through. Y'all dope. Snapped right in. Thanks to everybody that checks out the show, everybody at the table and up here at the treehouse. And Snacks and I, we thank you for your support.
Thank you, Bobo.
Ezo.
Salute to everybody who tuned in today, this morning. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for another episode of We Don't Smoke the Same podcast on Patreon. Salute to Ken Flores, West Coast Genetics, and Sherbert Glass for coming by in the morning show. Aside from that, go to flavorsbyezone.com or highandhungry.shop for all the new High and Hungry gear. I'm going to be uploading some new hat pins that'll be available. Those are limited out of 50, so make sure you snag those before they're gone. And save the date. June 10th is when we're releasing this season of High and Hungry, so make sure you look out for that. We got a schedule for you guys. So if you want to see the behind the scenes and some of the stuff we got coming up, follow us on High Hungry TV on Instagram.
Know your worth. Push more. Never settle. Swallow that.
BeReal.tv